Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀. So glad you're joining me. Hey, when you come on, say hello, hello, hello. That's our Workouts for Older Men Live greeting. Tell me where you're watching me from, what part of the world. Tell me what social media platform that you're watching me on. Are you watching me on Facebook at 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀 page, on YouTube at 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀, where I broadcast this live, and then it goes over to Instagram at 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀, on Twitter at 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀, LinkedIn 𝗕𝗢𝗎𝗀, or I put bits and pieces. If you ask me great questions that everybody can benefit from, I'll put certain clips of this live broadcast over on TikTok at 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀. All right, so come on in. We can talk about anything. We can talk about workouts, a lot of questions about working out, not as many questions about nutrition, not asking the details about nutrition too much, but maybe this is the time you can really start attacking that. You know that you need to pay more attention to nutrition. It's the key. You know, I tell you that all the time, but what do we need to do to reframe this challenge, get in the mental state to actually start attacking it, right? Little by little. It's not as challenging as you may think. It doesn't encroach on your lifestyle to eat the way you should. You just have to know the most effective and efficient strategies, and that's what I want to do to help you. I tell you all the time, but until you're ready to ask the question, until you're committed, I can tell you the answer, but you're not ready for it. So what can I do to get in that mental state to really create that physique that you really want, and really get what you want, and get lean, build that muscle, right? Yesterday I was talking about all the mental pitfalls that get in the way even when a man's older and he is doing everything that he should, but just doesn't feel right because he doesn't know what to expect. Things aren't happening as quickly or in the way he thought, and so he's been doing everything right, just doesn't know it, and then he'll retreat and do something else and end up in a lot of frustration. All right, so what are your questions? We can talk about anything. We don't have to talk about workouts or eating right, motivation. We can talk about anything you want to as we go through this journey of life. Hey, make sure if you're new, tell me that you're new. Tell me if you're watching the replay version. Tell me what social media platform you are watching this from. If you've got a question, I can link you to one of my many videos on 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀.com. I can answer it directly. Make sure you go over to 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀.com and see all those videos. I mean, because I talk to men like you all the time. I know the challenges. I know what you're thinking. And when you watch those videos, it gets you more and more clear, more and more certain about what you need to do to build that body that you want. All right, so go to 𝗕𝗢𝗿𝗀𝗀.com. Hello, Bruce. Great to have you here, sir. Got a generic Facebook user saying, hey, how you doing? So how was your week? Did you have a good week of discipline and training? How'd your week go as we finish this off? Right. So I'm just here for a couple minutes. You know, a lot of times I pop up at this time, and we get a lot of guys watching, a lot of questions, a lot of energy, and I want to give you that energy back. Sometimes the most men watching the replay version, so I got to think of what can I tell them? All right, where, you know, spend some time with you, maybe hit or miss. I hope it's something that can help you. All right. So let me know if you have any questions, or just say hello, hello, hello. All right, waiting for you guys to come on. Let's see what we're doing here, guys. I can just hang out with you until you have some questions or just want to talk. You want me to elaborate on any of the stories that I talked about? All right. Let me know. Let me know. Yesterday, I started talking about the pitfalls that get in the way of men as they're trying to get their physique. And yesterday, I talked about the illusion that you're losing too much muscle when you finally start dieting to lose that body fat. Just doesn't seem like it's working out. You're getting smaller. You think you're losing all your muscle. And so you stop dieting until some other day when, I don't know, I guess you learn how to do it right, get more information, build more muscle. I'm not quite sure. One thing that if you don't know what to expect when you do it in a sustainable manner, right? You need to eat food. You can't just be in a calorie deficit and really drastically cut your calories. You got to know how many calories that you're eating to know what a little and a lot is. But what I find is a lot of men, like, they have these expectations. I don't know. It's different for everybody, but if they do this, they work out, they start eating right, and they've heard of friends, or maybe in the past they've lost, I don't know, let's just say 10 pounds the first month. If you're losing 10 pounds the first month, it's not body fat. It's all not healthy. It's maybe not be muscle either. It may be just, you're just depleted, and the muscles aren't full, and you're just burning everything you're eating, or calorie restrictive, not eating any carbs, whatever. So if you lose that much, that can give you a false sense of accomplishment. And then you compare month 2 to those 10 pounds, and then you only, let's just say, lose 5 pounds. So for a lot of men, so they do all this work, have a good start, 10 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. That's even aggressive, right? So guys might not know that. And then the third pound, they might just lose 3 pounds, right? So they don't look at it as, wow, I did this restrictive diet, I suffered, but wow, I lost 18 pounds in 3 months. How it's usually framed is, oh, it's not working anymore. I got to do different. I got to do a different training routine. This diet isn't working, or whatever, right? Because it's going to slow down a lot after that. And if you don't know what to expect, all right. So if you don't do it in a sustainable manner, I'll tell you, when you do this right, you may gain a couple pounds the first 3 weeks. No, really, from the men who I help, because they're so severely restricting their calories, when they do it right in a sustainable manner, where, you could eat this way really for the rest of your life. It's not some sprint. It's not some diet that's going to give less and less returns, and then you're not going to want to do it because you don't realize, you think that's the way, that it works, right? So it's this trap that a lot of men fall into, that you get that short-term gratification, those short-term success, I guess, and it sets you up for failure and not knowing how to do it for the rest of your life, right? Let's see here. Got a couple questions here. Jan says, how can I keep some mass on the lower body as I age, approaching 50 years old? Tried reps with a little lighter weight and heavier days. Can't seem to move the needle. Been lifting hard for 30 years. Yeah. Well, more reps, really pushing it. And legs are lower half legs. Look, I can be honest with you, as I'm more than my body. I want to be fit and in shape. I don't have that just total warrior attitude in the gym. I'm more efficient. I know what I have to do, and mindset plays a big part. Legs, you got to train them. You got to train them heavy. You got to push yourself. There's a reason why there's the phrase, whether you're younger or older, somewhere in between, don't skip leg days, because that's what most of us really avoid. And when we do train legs consistently, are we really pushing ourselves? It's such a mental thing. You got to push yourself with legs. I see plenty of older men. There's not plenty. I don't see of all the men working out, I don't see a lot with great legs to begin with. And I don't see a lot of men necessarily with great legs, but they're out there. So I really think it's a mindset, a lot of times. But it's just overload, eating right. I don't know if there's some special strategy for leg muscles or something when you're older. But I'll raise my hand and admit that I had a hard time. I had to get so mentally pumped up to really train my legs back when, I wanted to repeat as a champion, where it was my whole identity was to, develop my physique and be that example and win a contest and write about it as my career, right? And it was tough for me then. So I know, admittedly, it's tougher for me now. I don't know if I have any other advice for you, but the way you're training them. There's no real different way to train them. I'm not so sure. A lot of guys say, hey, when you get older, your legs, you lose all that mass there. I think that happens, but more for the reason why I said more than it's an age thing, because I do see older men who really love training legs. It's their identity, and they've got great legs still. Let's see. 𝗖cie 𝘂𝗿𝗀𝗀. Hey, Skip. Thank you for your advice. I'm 62 and I'm trying to keep my muscle. My question is, how many times a day do I need to eat? And protein shakes should I drink before and after a workout? Well, it's not how many meals that you need to eat. It's those calories and the protein that you get by the end of the day, whether it's 3 meals or 6 meals, or it doesn't even matter how it's spaced. Now, if you've been following my career, I did it all that way, every 2 to 3 hours, 6 meals a day. That didn't seem specific enough. I wanted to really leave it on the floor. And so I would eat 8 meals a day, every 2 hours on the dot. Well, now, knowing science and living this, experience, their meal frequency, it's not a real thing that's going to really move the needle. It seems like it would if you're that consistent. It's not. So it's getting your caloric total for the day and enough protein, where your protein goals are. And, protein before and after, again, with a lot of fitness information, they get really down in the scientific things like, protein with your workout and the timing of it all. I'm not saying that science isn't true. I just don't think it makes the impact. And I did all that stuff. Take a protein shake before, take a protein shake afterwards, just get that caloric total for the day and make sure you hit your protein requirements, and then be consistent and train hard, heavy overload, right? Hello, Paul. I hope that's good, Jan. All right, guys. Well, great. So we had a question about leg training when you're older, and then keeping your muscle mass. Great questions here. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men live. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, when we're this age, we have more time behind us than in front of us. I was just saw my sister-in-law, and she and my brother have been married for 30 years this week. It's their anniversary. And I said, it just seemed like we were just celebrating my wife's birthday, and it was their 25th anniversary. I mean, I tell you, those 5 years have just flown by. And as I approach 60 years old, you probably experience the same thing. And, it's a mindset to live with a sense of urgency. Now, I post that sometimes. I like to stay calm and not cause myself anxiety. Well, you definitely don't want to cause yourself anxiety. But that notion that get up and do it now, give that 100% effort now, live with a sense of urgency that you don't want the next 5 years to go by and you didn't leave it all on the floor. Live with that sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. That's what I want to do. I want to help you get in shape, get to the level that you want while you still can. While you can, when you're older, and look, maybe it's already happening now, but you want to preserve your longevity and mobility, right? You got to put in the work now to enjoy that benefit later. Now, you got to train with a sense of urgency. You got to eat right with that sense of urgency. Get healthy and fit. You got to produce at the job if you're still working, right? You got to connect with the people you love and care about, because this life goes quickly, and you're probably seeing it more and more now. Even if it does cause a little bit of angst, we need pressure. We need pressure to actually get up and do the things we know we can do. And that's what I mean by live with a sense of urgency. And that's our call to action with Workouts for Older Men, and what I talk about. And I sign off with every show, to live with a sense of urgency, because we have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.